First of all, I would like to say that in one of the applications for the grant, it was put down that there is not a view. It doesn't have a valuable view, and I totally disagree with that. This park has a tremendous view, a beautiful view. Had to foil a lot of information about the grants, and it cost us a lot of money, but it was worth it. There never was a needs assessment survey done as of yet. And there was because I was part of the park, being part of the park and developing it with Joe. And there was a call out to people to be involved, and most of the people that showed up were equestrians. They wanted a place that they could bring their horses and ride horses. I think there was a total of 30 people that responded. I'm not to say I'm against ball fields, but I think if ball fields are going to be built, build them where we already have the infrastructure going on, not in the middle of a beautiful, beautiful park. I have a friend who's a big birder. He looks at birds, watches birds, and I had him send you a letter, Mike. There's a few species that have been spotted in this park that haven't been spotted anywhere else in Orange County. I also think that there should be the environmental impact statement should be changed, because we should have a new one, because the plans have changed over the past 8 years. How many times? Several? A lot of times. So something like that should be updated. And if the last thing, I'll end with this. Like I said, I'm not against kids playing ball, Ron. I just don't think it should be in this park. I'd rather see it done, see grants written where we have them existing, put more there, because then we don't have to build up in this park. I think it should be preserved as best as is. And that's about all. Thanks. Thank you for letting me speak.
The board is not presenting to us, and there was no presentation of the actual cost that will take to run this park. We're going to be fooling ourselves. We're going to need a parks department. We're going to need someone to clean up the water bottles after games. We don't need another dog park. And personally, I used the dog park in Thomasville. I thought it was a great idea. It was something that we did not have. But now I feel like we're constantly repeating ourselves. We have a playground a mile down the road in Winding Hills. We have a beautiful playground, Sally's Dream, that people visit. I really feel like that we have to, as a government and as residents of Montgomery and taxpayers, we have to address that this might not be the time to move forward and take on just another responsibility and burden the taxpayer when we're going to be seeing a big decline of residents, people unable to pay their tax bills.
It is the wrong use in the wrong place. I cannot stress that more. You have to look at this from the perspective of what makes the entire community beautiful, livable, and keeps it to some extent rural. The same is true of where Hefner's Farm is. That is a rural area being encroached upon by all kinds of development proposals. And there again, you have an agricultural area. Montgomery is one of the few places in eastern Orange County that still has some agricultural areas, and they are irreplaceable. When they are gone, you will never see them again. If this development goes onto that property, it will have secondary impacts. It will have negative impacts on surrounding farmlands. It can't help but happen. You will bring all this traffic, you will bring sports events There will be the noise that comes with sports events. There will be the pollution that comes with the traffic. There will be the intrusion on this rural landscape. It is outrageous and totally unnecessary. Sports have their place, and they're very important, but it shouldn't go there.
This is not the place for this. Anybody that spent any time out there looking around the river, the view, the wildlife, you could clearly get a sense that when I close my eyes out there and I picture the noise, the garbage, and I'm a facilities director at a large college. I know what goes on at sports events because my guys are the people cleaning it up. The life cycle cost to maintain this thing would be outrageous. When I looked at some of your costing originally of the proposal, you're leaving out a lot of things out of your engineering. You know, you talk about running a well from electric, solar, it's not going to happen. You got lighting, you're going to need to do infrastructure stuff. This thing needs to be looked at. Initial costs further, and certainly life cycle costs, the environmental impact, and if you ever get a chance to really go out there alone and look around, then you picture all the stuff that comes with these types of facilities. I don't think 2 ball fields are going to relieve, if you, Mr. Feller, in all due respect, are going to relieve that huge need that you throw out there. I would recommend and urge you to really reconsider this. Think of alternate uses for this. A sustainability park, educational park. You know, there is more to life than ball fields. I'm a big proponent of sports. All my kids play sports, hockey, lacrosse. I understand that aspect. There's other aspects of life and other aspects of green thinking and sustainability that we can bring to the town. That park is used a lot. A lot. If you've ever spent any time out there, some of these folks are right. Traffic goes in and out of there constantly for people that want to use the park for other than just this. And I hate to see it go away. And that's all I have to say.
You can go down to Village of Montgomery, and we got deer running right down to 11.
That's deer.
Yeah.
We're not talking
That's
about
deer.
On farms all over. And we've had to change the way farms have gone, and the animals have adapted.
No, they haven't. A lot of
Yes,
them
they
disappear
have.
off my property. They haven't adapted. Well, the building that's going around it.
Yep. And the deer have adapted.
That's deer, that's different.
You know, I mean, the animals do adapt.
Right.
I know people don't want to hear it, but when you make a living in agriculture, you will find that it does.
There are species that are sensitive to development,
Yeah.
and there are species that aren't.
I understand that,
What
Patricia.
is an influx of ones that aren't.
And there's some that aren't. And you're not going to be able to satisfy them all them either.
Take the vote.
But I don't think